The cars?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Hey! Stop! Hey.
Yeah, you can't see. Nobody's actually in there yet. When they are there.
Hey, don't forget about mine.
Hello, Dominic. Woo! Alright.
Let that go.
Hello, Anna. We have some cars today. Oh gosh. Alright. Hello, Grayson. Good morning, everybody. I've got some loud toys here. They are moving. They are loud. If I put them down, they will crawl all over the place. There is the remote control for these toys. We're going to talk about something like this today. That's right. Amelia's is the blue one, and Lily's is the green one. Ooh. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, Violet. How are you today? Hope you guys are doing well, and they've had a fabulous Earth Day. That's a different remote, but still relevant. Hello, Millen. All right, let's see what time it is. All right, we have one more minute. Hello, Talon. How are you today? Let's see. All right, maybe I could woo! Hello, John and Jude.
Skymobile.
What is it called?
Skymobile.
The Skymobile. Oh, because it's blue. That makes sense. Hello, Morgan. What's yours? The Plantmobile, because it's green? Yeah, Forestmobile. Hello, Antonio. Hope you guys are doing well today. Hello, Paige. The Watermobile. The Watermobile, it's like Earth in its two forms, right? All right. Let's see. Hello, everybody. All right. We're going to get started. All right. Let's cut out the cars. All right. All right. Hello, Riley and Alice. All right. These things are crazy. All right. Don't knock down the stand. Don't knock it down. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. All right. Everybody ready to sing? Let's sing. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning, how are you? How are you this special day? We're so glad you came to play. Good morning, how are you? I forgot to clap. I was so distracted by all the cars zooming around my ankles. Good morning, Evangeline and Eleanor. So hello, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic Earth Day and you got outside and you got to see a little bit of our wonderful Earth. Today is Thursday, which means we're going to be talking about science, which is how things work and answering questions that we have. And the question I have today is, all right, we're talking about the Earth, right? We're talking about protecting all the life on planet Earth, but what is alive? What is something that has a life? Is it something that you like? Well, this is like a rock I really like. We got this on a beach in Canada. Has a lot of cool markings on it. Is it alive? No, it's not alive. It's a rock, right? But we know rocks aren't alive. How about these things? Are they alive?
No.
Wait, no, it's okay. Just leave it be. Okay.
No.
There we go.
No.
They're moving, right? But they're not alive, right? They're not alive. They're toy cars, right? Even though they move, they're not alive. Let's see. How about this? Is this alive?
No, but they were alive before.
It is a toy of a dinosaur that was alive, but it's a toy. It's not alive. Okay, enough cars. Stop. Thank you. All right, that was a chaotic element to introduce. It's not alive, even though it looks like an animal that was alive. How about this one, though? This is a toy that moves, right, and that lights up. Is it alive? No, still not alive, even though it moves. So today we're going to be examining what is alive, what makes something alive, right? But first, we're going to do our whoop calendar. All right, what is our number of the day? Do you guys know? Let's see. Starts with what number? starts with a 2, which means it's a 20 number. And then there's a what? 3, right? If it's a 2 and then a 3, it's, what do you think, Snake?
23.
23, that's right. And how about what month it is?
April.
April. It's April, starts with an A. That's right. And Amelia has anticipated the next question. It is Thursday. How do we know it's Thursday? Because there's a TH, right? We're going to be talking about that, I think, next week, right? We talked about cha this week, how C and H together make a cha sound like in cheese. When T and H come together, it makes a th sound like in Thursday, right? Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, April 23rd. April 23rd, 2020, 2020. That is the day. That is the day. All right, guys, we're going to sing our Days of the Week song. I think when we hear Thursday, we should flap our bird wings. You ready? You ready to flap? All right, let's do it. Days of the week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. All right, excellent. Weather Bear, come on out here. She still got on a lot of warm clothes from yesterday. I don't think you need quite all that. Probably a sweater for this morning is good. And then I think it's going to rain later today. Probably. So it's like, I think mid-50s again. Actually, for like the foreseeable future. Just like cool mid-50s-ish. Sweater, good idea. And then raining. Raining is good for things that are alive because things that are alive need water, right? That's one thing that things that are alive need. All right. For our plant of the day, we have this. Whoop, whoop, I dropped it. Wait a minute. It looks like a plant, right? But is it a plant? No, what is it? It's actually a Playmobil plant. It's not alive. It looks like a plant, right? And I actually have here some plants that look almost exactly like it. These are some hollyhock flowers that I am growing. Fingers crossed they will actually survive to be flowers outside. For now, they're just leaves. But look, they look so similar, right? They look so similar. So how do I know that these are alive? These are hollyhock plants. They are actually alive. They're growing. They take water. They might not be alive tomorrow. Who knows? But this will look the same today, tomorrow, and probably because it's plastic for a really, really long time, unfortunately. So this is not alive, but that is. What? It's crazy. So even things that look very similar are very different. So we're going to explore that a little bit, and we're going to find out that question. But first, let's give water to all of our classroom plants because they definitely are alive and really can use it, right? They need sun, they need water, they need some plant food probably sometimes. Right. Okay, so we're going to investigate this question of what is alive. And before we read our book, we're going to examine what we do when we are being scientists and we are figuring out a question. A question today is, what does it mean to be alive? First, we wonder. See the word wonder? W-O-N-D-E-R. Those kids are thinking, what is it? Today we're wondering what is alive. And then we predict. Predict means to think about what we think will happen. What can we guess? What do you think is it something that needs water? Is it something that can move? Is it something that we love? What's alive? You predict it when you're a scientist. Next, you observe. When you observe, that means you look at it, something real hard, and you see what's happening with your eyes. Just like yesterday, we were counting the leaves on the clover, and maybe you went outside and you counted some plants too. That's observing. See, those kids are observing. Next, we record. We write things down in our notebook so that we know them for sure and so that other people can see them too. Andrew, hi there, Andrew. All right. After we make our observations, we conclude. Conclude means you know. You had an idea, you observed, you recorded, and now you know, right? So by the end of this, hopefully we will know. And the way that we are going to know is not by doing an experiment right now, but instead by doing research. Research is by reading books or newspaper articles from people who really know, right? People that we trust. And in this case, I trust this because it's a book that was published and it's a science book in a science set. So I trust this. But you have to be careful. Sometimes if you look online on the internet, it's not all right. So you got to make sure you're looking at your right sources. So this book is called What's Alive by Kathleen Weidner Zoehfeld. Boy, I have apologies to all the authors of all these books. What is alive? Are you like a cat? You don't look like a cat. A cat is furry. It has a long tail and 4 legs. You have 2 legs and no fur, but you can run and jump like a cat. So we're kind of like a cat. Are you like a flower or a tree? You don't look like a flower or a tree. A tree is tall. Its green leaves grow high up in the air and its roots grow deep underground. A flower can have petals of pink or yellow or red. You have no petals and you won't grow as tall as a tree. But like a flower and a tree, you are growing. You are alive. Are you like a bird? You don't look like a bird. A bird flies on feathered wings. You have no feathers and cannot fly. But a bird, a flower, a cat, a tree, and you are all alike in one important way. You are all alive. Hello, Livia. Many things are not alive. A stone is not alive. Your tricycle, a book, the swing set, a doll, none of these is alive. Do you know how to tell if something is a living thing or not? All living things are alike in certain ways. All living things need water and food and air. All right, that's something we know now. All living things need water, food, and air. All living things use water, food, and air to give them energy. They need this energy to move and grow. We need energy, right? When a cat is born, it is small. Oh, look at that little nursing kitten. So cute. Can't take it. It is called a kitten. A kitten gets food from its mother. As a kitten gets bigger, it begins to lap up water and nibble on food from a bowl. It breathes air in and out through its nose. The kitten is alive and growing. Kittens and cats need food, water, and air to give them energy so they can run and jump and play. A baby bird hatches from an egg. It is called a chick. The chick's mother and father feed it. It breathes air in and out through small holes in its beak. Whoa, I didn't know that. It breathes like through small holes in the beak. What? That's crazy. The chick is alive and growing. We saw Anna's chick during show and tell. Super cool. Chicks and birds use the energy from food and water and air to fly or hop along the ground. Birds and cats are animals. You are an animal too. All animals are living things. Trees and flowers are also living things, but they are not animals. Trees and flowers are living things called plants. Plants cannot run or jump or fly. They do not eat, drink, or breathe the way you do or the way a cat does, but they do need water, air, and food, and they can move and grow. Wait, what? A tree can move? It can. It can. It just moves slowly, right? We can't see it moving, but doesn't mean it's not moving. Same for plants in your house, right? A lot of times you'll see plants will either shut up at night, or you could look outside and you could look at your tulips and you see that they open when it's sunny and close when they're moving just slowly, right? Super cool. Love it. Trees and flowers begin as seeds. When they are still small, trees and flowers are called seedlings. The seedlings grow roots. Roots take in water and nutrients from the soil. Do you guys remember how we planted sunflower seeds and we saw the roots come out? The seedlings grow leaves. Leaves help plants to breathe in a special way. If you look at the underside of a leaf with a magnifying glass, you will see tiny holes. Plants take in air through those tiny holes. Did you know there were little tiny holes in leaves that let it breathe? It's true. Actually, they breathe in gunky stuff in our house and put out nice stuff. So plants are very nice that way. Green leaves also help plants to catch the sunlight. Plants use the power of sunlight to make food out of air, water, and nutrients from the soil. Plants use the food they make to give them energy. The energy helps them move. They do not run or jump, but they grow and grow. They bend their stems and leaves to follow the sun. Sunflowers definitely do that. They move every day. All animals and all plants are living things. Anything that never needs food or water or air is not a living thing. Now you can go exploring. Walk through your house slowly, then through your backyard or the park. Look carefully at everything you see. Draw pictures of each thing. When you are finished exploring, look at your pictures and see if you can tell which are living things and which are non-living. For each picture, ask yourself these questions. Does this thing need food? Does it need water? Does it need air? Can it grow or move all by itself? If the answer to these questions is yes, then that is a living thing. But what if you find a plant that is brown and dry? It will not grow anymore. It cannot take in water or air. It cannot move except to blow in the wind. Is that a living thing? What do you guys think? Is that plant a living thing? What if you find a little bird that has fallen from a tree? It lies very still on the ground. The little bird will never move again. It will not eat or grow again. Is the little bird a living thing? No, it used to be, right? The dry plant and the little bird are living things that have died. All living things eventually die. That is an important part of being a living thing. A stone or other non-living thing can never eat or grow. It can never run and jump and play. A non-living thing cannot die because it has never been alive. When you've looked through your pictures, try sorting them into piles of living things and non-living things. Then separate the pictures of living things into piles for plants and animals. You can hang the pictures on your wall or your bulletin board. Whenever you find anything new, you can ask yourself, does it need food? Does it need water? Does it need air? Can it grow or move all by itself? Then you can add its picture to your collection. You will always be able to tell what is alive and what is not. All right, so this is interesting. Do you remember what we need to know in order to see if something is alive or not? I'm gonna write it down. Does anybody know? Amelia, do you remember? How can you tell if something's alive? Were you listening? She was reading a different book. That's okay. All right, so what's one thing you need to know? Does it need food, right? Let's see. Dinosaur, do you need food? Nope, doesn't need food. Doesn't need food. Okay, so I'm going to write down food. We could write down an apple. So the food, F-O-O-D, food. Does it need food? Number 2. What's the other thing? Water. Does it need water? We have like water, W-E. Does it need water? Dinosaur, do you need water? Does it need air? That's air. All right. Air. Does it need air? Do you need air? Do you breathe, dinosaur? He does not. Nope. 4. Can it grow or move on its own? Move. Arrows. Woo! Move. Dinosaur, can you move on your own? Actually, it can, but it moves by electricity. It's not actually moving on its own. It's a machine. And sometimes machines, like cars, can look like they're moving on their own, but it's actually being directed by someone else. Also, it doesn't have the other criteria. So, dinosaur, sorry to say you're not alive, but you're still a lot of fun. And I still like you a lot. Because you know what? We can love things that aren't alive. Sure, why not, right? We can do that. All right. So I have one more real quick book, and then we're going to try and do the activity that they did in the book. So this is just a fun one. This is just for fun. This is called The Monster at the End of This Book. And this is about Grover, starring lovable, furry old Grover. He's a character from Sesame Street. Let's see. The Monster at the End of This Book by Jon Stone. Says, this is a very dull page. What is on the next page? What did that say on the first page? What did that say? Did that say there will be a monster at the end of this book? It did. Oh, I am so scared of monsters. Shh, listen, I have have an idea. If you do not turn any pages, we will never get to the end of this book. And that is good because there is a monster at the end of this book. So please don't turn the page. Should we do it? Yeah, we probably have to, right? Yeah. You turn the page! Oh my gosh, oh no, look how he's so upset. Maybe you do not understand. You see, turning pages will bring you to the end of this book, and there is a monster at the end of this book. But this will stop you from turning pages. See, I'm tying the pages together so you cannot... You turned another page! You didn't know what you were doing to me! Now stop turning pages! Oh my gosh. There, I, Grover, am nailing this page to the next one, so you will not be able to turn it, and we will not get any closer to the monster at the end of this book. All right, all right, all right. Do you know that every time you turn another page, you not only get us closer to the monster at the end of this book, but we make a terrible mess. There, this will stop you from turning pages. A heavy, thick, solid brick wall. I would just like to see you try to turn this page. Do you think we can do it? I think we can. Oh, do you know that you are very strong? Look, it made a great big mess of the bricks. Oh my gosh. The next page is the end of this book, and there is a monster at the end of this book. Oh, I am so scared. Please do not turn the page. Please, please, please. I hate to do this to Grover, but it is just the nature of a book. We just sort of have to turn the page. Well, look at that. This is the end of the book, and the only one here is me. I, lovable furry old Grover, am the monster at the end of this book. You were so scared. I told you and told you there was nothing to be scared of. Grover, seriously, right? Oh, I am so embarrassed. Poor Grover, we all feel that way, right? We feel that way sometimes, yeah. Are monsters alive? Monsters are a weird word, right? All sorts of fun things that we imagine, like unicorns and fun, fairies, things like that. They're pretend, right? They're a lot of fun, but they're not necessarily alive because they're pretend. But you know what? We do have super cool animals in our world that are definitely alive, right? Okay, guys. I know, yeah, it is such a good book, right? I just love it. It's so good. And it's such a good way of thinking about, you know what? Sometimes the things that we think we should be scared of aren't scary at all, right? It's just because we don't know them yet, right? Okay, so what we have here is we are also going to see if we can take a walk around before the rain starts, hopefully, and we're going to see if we can figure out what's alive and what's not. So try and take a notebook with you. Maybe you could just go around your yard. Maybe you could actually take a walk before the rain comes. I have a few pictures I drew of things that I saw, so maybe you can help me go through the things that I found, and we can see if they are, let's see, this is the word alive. Alive, you see it starts with an A, A-L-I-V-E, alive. I'm going to put that right there, hopefully it'll stick. All right, and then we have not alive. You see the word not? N-O-T, not alive. So we're going to you can do this at home too. You can make a little board just like the girl did in the book. All right, let's see. Here's the first thing I saw. What is it? It's a bird, right? I bet you guys have seen birds outside. Birds are like having a great time outside. They've been flying all around. Is a bird alive? What do you think? Does it need food? Yep. Eats worms. Does it need water? Yep. Does it need air? It does. We just learned it breathes through holes in its beak, right? Can it move and grow on its own? Yep. This is alive. It is alive, so I'm going to put it on our alive side. Hopefully those are stuck. All right, the next thing. What is that? It's a car, right? Hopefully it looks like a car. Does the car need food? This is a little tricky. It does take gas, right? It needs gas in order to go. And it probably does need water, but it doesn't breathe air, and it can't actually go or grow on its own. It can't have babies. It can't grow, right? A car is a machine. A machine is different than something that is alive. So this is not alive. But on the not alive side, all right. How about kitty cat? Oh, I just told you, man. It's a cat, that's right. Is a cat alive?
Yes.
Yes. Does it eat food?
Yes.
We have to feed it and water, right? It breathes the air just like you and me, and it can move and grow on its own, and it can have little kittens. All right, this is alive. All right, how about this one? Huh, what is that? It's the sun, right? Is the sun alive? It's certainly intense, right? It's huge, it's amazing. A lot is going on in the sun. It's a gigantic ball of, I believe, plasma and some gas and all. But what do you think is alive? Does it eat food? No. No water? No. Does it breathe air? Well, certainly not, right? Because there's no air in space, other than like in the International Space Station where we trapped some air in there. Yeah, can it move and grow on its own? Well, I mean, it does sort of move, like you can see it moving. I don't know, this one's tricky, but no, it's not alive. But it's certainly very interesting, right? And that's the cool thing about science is when you're like, wow, why does the sun look like it's moving up close? Well, there you go. There's another science question you can ask yourself, right? And you can investigate. So not alive, the sun. All right, how about, what's that? A tree. Is a tree alive?
Yeah.
Oh, you bet it is, right? Yep. What does it eat for food?
I don't know.
Where's the sun go? Eats sunlight, right? Sunlight, and also there's some nutrients in the soil. Does it need water? Of course. Does it need air? It sure does. Does it move and grow? It does. It also has babies, right? Because that's another thing about life is we have babies, right? All right, alive. Oh, I know. That's funny. Oh, cloud, right. Cloud is another thing that is not alive. How about this? This is a little tricky. This is
Not alive.
Not alive. It's a vacuum cleaner, right? Vacuum cleaners are certainly loud, right? They make a lot of noise, but remember, making noise was not one of the things we learned is a condition of being alive, right? It does move, but it moves because we move it and because it is a machine. A machine is not alive. It does not breathe. It does not have air or water. So our vacuum cleaner is going to go on the not alive side. All right. How about your house? Huh. What do you think? Is your house alive? Does it need food and air and water and move? Nope. But guess what? It has living things inside of it, right? It has you and maybe your pets and your plants, right? So something that's not alive can have living things inside of it, right? You just never know. It's true. Actually, we were cleaning up some trash at a Girl Scout thing, and I found a piece of trash, and I was just about to throw it away because it was like in a pond. It was gross. And then Amelia said, hey, watch out, look out, and look underneath of it, there were eggs, I guess, for a frog or something like that. Anyway, so that not living thing actually had living things on the bottom of it. So we were like, oh, okay, better be careful. We don't want to like kill those eggs, you know, in the process of cleaning up. All right, how about one last thing? What's that? An apple, right? Is an apple alive? This is tricky, right? It comes from a tree, and a tree is alive, but actually the apple is not alive when you eat it. It's kind of like, you know, your hair or your fingernails. They are parts of you that are not actually alive. They can come off. Like you can cut your hair off and it's fine, right? It doesn't hurt. The hair is just on the floor. Your hair is not alive. So the apple is something that is not alive, even though it came from something that was alive. Clearly, this is a big question and it is not always straightforward. But in any case, it is super interesting, and I'm glad you explored it with me. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you guys can go outside into your yards, draw some pictures, come inside, and see if you think the things are alive or not alive. All right, guys, that's it. You ready to sing our goodbye song? It's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. Wave goodbye to everyone. It's time to say goodbye. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Wave goodbye to everyone. We had a lot of fun. I'll see you again tomorrow for Arbor Day. That's the tree day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Wave goodbye to everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.